Good morning, soul family. Actually, almost good afternoon. It's so freaking late. Song, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The day you left me was just my beginning because now I get what I deserve. Oh my God, what an awesome song. It's just what I'm feeling right now. Today you watch as I pull this bracelet off my hand. The chain that was binding me. Here we go, people. Let's watch it happen. Done. You know, when Spirit says addictions are affecting your love life, sometimes they aren't what you think that they are. Let's see if I can get this bracelet off. Every time, I've always said that the messages are for me. I always take the messages are, for myself. And it said yesterday, addictions are affecting your love life, right? So, what is my addiction? Well, I've been addicted to my dreams. My dreams have become like a soap opera. And I'm done with it. It's like I was talking to my landlord, and he's like talking about Trump, and I said, please, he knows that I don't want to talk about him. I don't like him. I've watched how the person in my life's father is represented as Trump, and how the man said, he came up and he said, my brother killed himself. This is about, what Trump showed me in my dream. My brother killed himself, but he showed himself to me as the person that I've been dreaming about's father. And so I'm listening to my landlord after I'm watching these dreams last night that were so telling. All these dreams were just incredible, and everything was lining up, and I was just like, wow, this is a disgusting soap opera that I'm watching. And he says, well, I said, I can't believe that this United States is allowing children to be kept in prison cells on the ground, separated from their families. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this country? They're in there like an animal shelter. I don't understand. This is like the Jews in the Holocaust. Are you kidding me? Separating the children from their parents. I'm sorry. I don't care about politics. I'm talking about humanity, and there is no humanity in that. You guys are helping me here. So anyway, he says, well, he killed his brother-in-law. And I said, what? And he goes, yeah, he killed his brother-in-law. And I watched somebody be burned, and they said it was a accidental fire, but I watched the person do it. So I'm sitting there going, it all lines up. And I said, who I told you was Trump in my dreams, and here you're telling me he killed his brother-in-law? And that's what I literally watched. And the person said, oh, my brother killed himself. No, he didn't kill himself. He was killed by his brother-in-law, who is this head of this company, who's a complete asshole. Anyway, done with my dreams. I took my bracelet off. I didn't take the bracelet off. I just took off the charm because I'm not tying myself to the past. So that felt very liberating. So what should we work with today? Messenger Oracle. Grace cards. I liked the Grace cards. Weren't they fun? And remember I said to you guys that if you have any jewelry connected to an ex, that you need to remove that because that's tying you energetically to that situation. Well, here's my piece of jewelry. Now, I had that made, but it was still made for that specific situation. So it's gone. It's out of here. I'm taking everything out of here. And this is called Freedom today. Thank you very much. It feels really good, and I gotta get it. Actually, watch, this is what I do. There were a pair of sunglasses, too, that were left here by that person, and there they are. And I put them outside, so this will all sit there until it's outside of my studio. I'm telling you, that's how serious I am about stuff like that. You get the energy out of your place. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Right? Time to move on. So you guys, go ahead, babe. Go ahead. So today, I'm picking up certain items that we can use. You're gonna laugh at what we were choosing. Somebody who says they share my dreams. Song right now, Ed Sheeran. Dancing in the Dark. Okay. How many things do we want to use? I want to make this go quickly. My friend Kenny Marquez is going to be at the, sorry guys, at the Canyon Lake. No, sorry, how does this work? That way? Sorry you guys. He's going to be at the lodge, the Canyon Lake, it's called the Lighthouse, singing, and he's a friend of mine from 100 years ago. He's a singer, guitar player, and he's so much fun. And I'm going. I haven't gone out in 300 years. Okay, we have today 4 items. I'm doing this pretty quick for me. Interference on the radio. The song right now, Ed Sheeran talking about how I have faith in what I've seen. Now I know I have seen an angel, right? This person he's been dreaming with. But then this radio pops in and there's interference on the radio right then. It's interesting. I'll think about why this is later. So here's our first one, air. Today we're doing air. And this is a wand, crystal wand, attached to a shell. And there's all kinds of gems in here. There's seed pearls, there's an amethyst, there's a green citrine here. I think it's green citrine, it could be something else. I haven't taken it down to actually really look at it. What's so cool about this little amethyst piece is that it's a spear and it's got quartz crystal on one end and amethyst on the other, which means it's amplified. And song right now, Mr. Bright Eyes, it's all about rumors. About somebody who saw something in their dreams and believed it and lost their mind. Kind of like me, right? See something in your dreams and you lose your mind. If it doesn't happen right in front of you, you don't know the real reason, so that's why I'm disconnecting from all of it. Then we have tranquility. This will be water. So air, water, fire, earth. Okay, let me write that down really quick. Air, water, fire, earth. Okay. Air, water, fire. Fire, we've got one of those laser lights. My landlord got this for Liger, and he's terrified of it. I thought he would like it, but he was scared of it. And it looks like a little fire hydrant as well. So it's on a keychain, so that. And then this is my mother's. I got it fixed when I was in Sturgeon Bay last time. I was so excited because it had never worked. And I never know what time it is, ever. I'm always, I never even know what day it is. But my girlfriend that owns Door County Traders, the antique store in Sturgeon Bay, if you ever go there, it's the best. Door County Traders, Diane Rockwell. He fixed it, the watch guy. But I got back to California and it started fogging up and it stopped working again. So when I go home again, I will have him look at it and repair it properly. It's amazing. It's Cloisonne beads. It's got turquoise on it. You know, you guys, I want my turquoise back. Cloisonne beads, silver beads. It's held by an Indian head nickel. And it was beautiful, and my mom used to wear it, and it's very, very me. That's me. So that should have been, you know what? I'm going to switch it, you guys. I'm switching it. I guess I can't. There's a reason I can't do that. Why is that? I can do anything I want. This is my reading. This is mine. So that's for me. But you know what? There must have been a reason why I chose the red lighter for me. What I'll do is I'll leave it the way it was, and I'll just choose these last two messages are mine. How about that? Okay. That's what we're going to do. That's me fighting with myself. I wanted to have what I wanted to have because I said it's me, but this had already been chosen. So isn't that interesting? I want to have what I want to have, but this is the one that's chosen. Maybe I made a soul contract that I'm trying to break. All right, I'm going to put you guys down for a second. I'm going to, I wonder if I think I'll set you guys out here like this. I know you can't see the water, but I've got my screen down because it's already super hot and you guys will blow up. It'll be way too hot if we try and keep the screen up now. It actually keeps the, having the screen down, like I have a rolling, my landlord just had somebody come out and put new screens in and I've got this rolling shade. Just that, it keeps the heat out as well, you know? Not just the sun, the warmth is kept out. I've got friends all day, posting all night, posting pictures of gigs. My Uncle Phil went to all these musical gigs. My friends are in full swing right now of Steelbridge Song Festival, and I'm not there. And then my friend Mick Maloney used to play with my friend Troy. Well, actually, he still does. They play together in a couple different bands. Coyote Ghost, and I think they're Coyote Ghost both places. The Red Oak Winery, if anybody goes, and Root Bistro, and I think somebody said Troy's playing on his girlfriend's tour boat, some kind of a tour boat, which that sounds like a ton of fun. So if you're anybody in that area, if you're there for Steel Bridge, go check it out. You know, there's other stuff too. And my friend, another friend of mine is playing on a boat as well. God, there's so much playing on the boat. You know, music on the boat. And then my other friends, I saw them yesterday. They were writing music for Steel Bridge Songfest, right? And they went out on the fireboat, and they were writing their songs. Greg Rotek, Mike Black, Landon Capel. I couldn't see who the other person was. So hi guys, shout out to all of you, all of my talented musician friends. It's amazing. I miss the music so much. So I thought, well, you know, I saw my friend Kenny Marquez is coming tomorrow to the lighthouse, and I thought, that's it, I'm going. I can't freaking stand it. I'll show you California style music. My friends in Sturgeon Bay. All right. I found a deck that I I found a deck behind my desk yesterday. I didn't realize that it had fallen down behind my desk, so we're going to use little messages from that. I kind of don't want to get my own little personal messages right now because we for some reason keep getting the same messages, and I'm over that. So, oops. We're going to do some. We're going to do the angel healing cards. I like that. We're going to do the grace cards. We're going to do messenger oracle. And that's it, because this is going to take forever. All right. So at 11 minutes and 47 seconds in, I got to get some of this off my desk. This is way too much on my desk. Way too much. I mean, crystals are good, but you know what? It's too much. I'm over it. Sorry, you guys. It's too, it's like my dreams. It's too much. And you know, when it gets too much like that, it's got to go. So here's me clearing out. So sometimes you can get too much of a good thing. You know, these are crystals. They're powerful, they're useful, they're good, but right now, there's too much. And it's like my dreams. My dreams are very prophetic and they're wonderful and they tell me a lot of things, but right now they're too much and I don't want them anymore. I'm over them. And it's my, that was my addiction, you know, my paying attention to my dreams, to that state. To the state where it affects you in a negative way, it's not good. Okay. So you hold on to the front here. Sorry, 12 minutes, 53 seconds in. We'll do the magic wand. How about that? Yeah, let's point it towards me and clear me. Okay, guys, here we go. First message. Challenge your perception. I've been doing enough of that. Right? So, I mean, the first thing you think about is exactly what's going on in my life right now is challenge yourself to look at things because they aren't probably the way they look. Right? Things are not the way they appear. And it's probably, you know, quite annoying for you. It's annoying for me. So Spirit wants you to challenge your perception. What is the number? 5. Is that the number 5 or is it number 3? It's the number 5. I've been seeing 5 a lot. Yesterday, the number 555 kept popping out everywhere I went. And of course, 555 is there are big changes occurring in your life, always for the better. Best idea is to call upon Spirit for help with these changes. But the number 5 singularly is a significant change is occurring, and it is always for the better. Also a good idea to call upon Spirit for help with these changes. Let me turn down the volume. Sandy just sent me a message. Oh, her mother. Okay, so I'm asking her mother, her youngest brother just passed away. Oh, wow. We've been getting a lot about transitioning into spirit, so I'm sending love to her, and I'm asking for you guys. That would be helpful if you could send love out to the family. That's difficult. We have been getting a lot of transitions. That's awful. Okay, clear. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Please remove my own personal feelings from this reading. Please pull only what my highest self connects to Blessing on this reading. Do not allow any other energy to come in and influence it in any other way. We ask for clear, precise messages. Only what needs to be said and no more. So there is something that I did get in my dream just before I woke up, and it was probably because I was coming to a state of consciousness, and I was actually challenging myself in my dream, and I was saying, I was watching how, you know what, I need to just observe this and let it go, because I don't know the truth of the matter. I don't know all of this stuff, and I'm going to allow it to affect me otherwise. So I'm going to detach from it. So we need to ask Spirit to help us detach so we don't react emotionally, which is what I just did this morning, right? I want that bracelet off my hand. I'm tired of this whole thing. I'm just done. I'm done with all of this, the connecting with people that I'm seeing such private things, and I want to detach from it, because otherwise it's overwhelming and we do react, and we will maybe make decisions that we otherwise wouldn't have made. So if we have a lack of understanding, and we're unwilling to detach from it and put aside our own thoughts and our own perceptions, which are slightly biased, right? Especially when we don't know the other point of view, or if we're not willing to look at somebody else's point of view, we got a problem here. So we have to be able to at least see both sides of the party. If we are able to see, we have to get to the place where we can be like a mediator, where we see both sides, so that we can make a rational decision based on the facts, not just emotion. Because both can be right, both can be wrong. What one might look at as negative, another may not. Like what I watched in my dreams, I said, for me, that's not sacred. I don't find that sacred. To me, it's disrespecting your body to see the things that I watched. Now another person may not feel that way. They're entitled to their belief and I'm entitled to mine. We just can agree to disagree. And in that way, you can both go your own way. It allows for a healing to take place, and there's no judgment. Because right now, you're standing up on this tower. Are you elevating yourself above others? This looks like the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords comes down with very cutting words, but the Queen of Swords needs to come across in an impartial manner as well. So if you're going to come across as the Queen of Swords, slicing and dicing, and that because the Queen of Swords comes across with no emotion, she's perceptive, she's independent, she's a quick thinker. Now, positive, she's remaining neutral. She's in the upright, so we're good here. Because if we were reversed, we'd be overly emotional, we'd be a bitch, we wouldn't have any feelings, right? The Queen of Swords would be like, cut off your head. But the Queen of Swords, nothing's going to get past her. She knows what's going on. She's considering things with her. This is all about words. This is all about your intellect, all about your mind. Taking all of these things in and sorting them out. Composed and in place of sternness, yeah, absolutely. But not condemning. She's not influenced by emotional issues. She's using her mind intellectually. So it's about using independent thought. Do not allow yourself to get emotionally drawn in. Come across as the Queen of Swords. Think, cut through the bullshit, cut through the noise, get straight to the point. No beating around the bush. That's I like that. And keep the emotion out of it. Otherwise, you're not seeing things correctly, and you're not handling things correctly. I keep thinking of that song, My Lover says, worship me in the bedroom. In lyrics, there's a reason for this. My lover. She's the giggle at the funeral, I think is what it was, right? She's a giggle at the funeral. My lover. Sorry guys, there's a reason for this. She's the giggle. I'm telling you, it makes me feel like this sounds like me, because the giggle at the funeral, she knows everybody's disapproval. Take me to church, okay? So this is about judgment, and this is about, and this is why I was saying what I was watching in my dreams, right? The gay lifestyle, the transgender lifestyle, what is the other? I can't think of the word right now, but I'm not passing judgment on other people's choices. I have a lot of friends that are gay. It's not my lifestyle. So, my lover's got a humor. She's got giggle at a funeral. She knows everybody's disapproval. I should have worshipped her sooner. If the heavens ever did speak, she's the last true mouthpiece. Every Sunday's getting more bleak, a fresh poison each week. We were born sick. You heard them say it. Because this is somebody that's being judged. And in actuality, the video of this, it was two lovers, male lovers that were being chased down and persecuted. And it was awful what happened. So they're sick. They're telling me they were born sick. My church offers no absolutes. She tells me worship in the bedroom. The only heaven I'll be sent to is where I'm alone with you. I was born sick, but I love it. Command me to be well. So this person is saying, I was born this way. And then the church wants her to, him to command himself to be well, but that's the way he is. He is bisexual, possibly. I don't know. I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Good God, let me give you my life. Offer me the deathless death. So are you standing here in judgment of another? I'm a pagan of the good times. My lover's the sunlight. To keep the goddess on my side, she demands a sacrifice. So there's something that's going to be required even of him if he goes with his lover, which is probably a commitment. Drain the whole sea, get something shiny, something meaty for the main course. That's a fine-looking high horse. What you got in the stable? We've a lot of starving faithful. So it's people looking down on their high horse, right? And there's people starving. That looks tasty. That looks plenty. This is hungry work. I'll worship like a dog. Take me to church. I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Offer me my deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. No masters or kings where the ritual begins. There is no sweeter innocence than our gentle sin. Remember the rituals that I was talking to you guys about? In the madness and soil of that sad earthly scene, only then I am human, only then I am clean. Amen, amen. Take me to church. I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. Now, what I'm seeing is there's somebody who's living an alternate lifestyle that is condemning someone else for what their choices are and preaching to them. You're living an alternate lifestyle. You're living a gay lifestyle, right? A lesbian lifestyle, transgender lifestyle, why do I keep forgetting the one word? Bisexual lifestyle, right? That's your choice. That's cool. Did I judge you? No. But you're on your fine horse judging me for wanting to be with the one that I want to be with. How is that the truth? So there is no judgment. There is only, that's your life, that's fine, it's not my choice, and this is my life. It's not, that's fine, it's my choice. No judgment. And you don't have to fight with them. You don't have to get into a place of a battle. We need to stay neutral and remove our emotions from it. Just stand in our truth and speak it truthfully. Dance. Dance the dance. Dance is moving in harmony. Dance the dance. I'm going to dance tonight, or when my friend Kenny comes. When we ask for guidance, take action. Put our faith in an outcome we can't yet see. We've begun to dance with grace. So we ask Spirit, okay, this is driving me nuts. You've given me this information. These are the steps you're telling me to take. I do that. And then I'm going to let you handle the rest of it because I can't figure this out. And what I just did by taking that bracelet off and removing those things from my room, I am detaching so much so that I do not want any connection to it. I'm detaching completely. I don't know the truth and I'm tired of trying to figure it out. So then we've begun to dance with grace. We have been moving, now we're moving in harmony with the universe and we are allowing the universe to handle this for us. Fear. I, Archangel Michael, am here to help you through the present time. I love you. I protect you. I keep you safe. Trust that all is well. Accept my love and allow it to dissolve your fear. I like this, standing in front of the selenite tower that cleanses and purifies. I like this magic wand that I have that is made from the crystals of the land, of the ground, and from the sea. A combination of both, earth and sea. I love caves. When I was in, okay, this is what I'm seeing. When I was in Sedona, there's a cave called Trinity. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they call it. I call it Trinity Cave because there's 3 lines in the cave. Can you see the Madonna inside here? The head, the nose. It depends on how I turn it. Or you could call it a nun. Or remember that person that was in the cloak? Remember the person that was in the cloak? And I said that there were 3 that needed to be cut away, and there was somebody that had lost their head. There were rituals taking place. Do you see it? The cloaked person. Now, what you're looking at as well is a confession chamber. There's a place in that Trinity Cave that looks on one side. It's a natural separation in the wall. It's bizarre when you look at it, and you can see that years ago, hundreds of years ago, the natives would sit up there, and in the high council, you could see where the council sat, where on the ceiling where the smoke was from fires, and where the leader would sit, and there was a confessional. And I said to my friend John, look at this, there's a confessional. The person sits on one side and the high priest sits on the other when they make their confession. It was exactly like this. And it was like a guillotine that sliced down from the mountain itself. And it was set up, and you could see that it lined up perfectly with the 3 lines in the cave. That's why I called it Trinity Cave. And I said, and we looked at it for a long time, and he says, can you see what we're looking at? It was amazing because it's like it's been set up. If you look at it, when that cuts free, if there were to be a quake or anything, or the spirit decided to let it go, that piece that stood between the people, the common people, and the ones that were judging, between the confessor and the high priest, it sliced like a guillotine right down the center. It went right down the center of the cave and down into the valley. And it was a vortex line. You could see it. It was very, very powerful. It makes me think of the song that we just talked about. That's a fine high horse. You sit on one side of the confession chamber, and I sit on the other, and I'm supposed to tell you my sins, and you're supposed to absolve me of my sins? That's not how Spirit does it. You're not above me. I'm not above you. I'm going to pull this up because I want you to see it. It's incredible. It's amazing that I wondered why I chose this. I thought, well, I normally choose things for a reason, and I can see it. It's exactly that. It's in this. So at 27 minutes and 40 seconds, we go to our next pile, Tranquility. And let's breathe this beautiful, tranquil energy in. You know what's interesting about this? Remember I spoke about how we have scents that will bring us to certain places? In my dream last night, somebody was trying on they were trying different scents, and they were smelling like they were little samples. And I said to the person, "Go over there and try that sample." So they grabbed these samples, and they all came back, and it was the same. You know, got a sample for everybody from the same particular bowl. It was the same scent, and everyone's like, "Oh, I love this! I love this!" And my ex, which was interesting, walked up and had it all over his body, and I didn't like the scent. It was fresh, but it wasn't what I wanted. It was what I wanted was Burberry. I don't know if you guys have smelled Burberry cologne, but it's a woman's Burberry cologne, and I can smell it in my nose right now. I've been smelling it all day. And it's going to come up. I know, because it's telling me something. I think it's already come up. But scents, there's something about, pay attention right now to the scent, and Spirit will bring it to you. If you don't know what it is, you'll understand later when it comes to you. You'll understand what it means for you. It's this scent. This is the scent that I'm smelling, and I love that scent. I actually think I need to go to the mall and get some of that for my body for some. Maybe I'm changing my perfume. I used to wear Hypnotic Poison. Isn't that an awful name? It's my favorite. It's my favorite perfume of all time. But they're showing me Burberry for a reason, and I'm speaking this way because, as I always do, there's a reason this is coming up, and I'm not quite certain yet what it is. But Spirit will bring it to me. So, is there a scent is there a scent that is associating a time for you for something? When you look at this Tranquility, a state of calmness, peacefulness, of serenity. And if you were to smell this, it's a fresh smell. It smells like, it smells almost like celery and ocean water together. And in my dream, everybody chose this scent. They loved it. They put it all over them. But I didn't want this scent. I wanted Burberry. And I'm not quite certain why I wanted Burberry. We'll find out in a minute. It'll come out, I'm sure. Because everybody wanted tranquility. Why would I not choose a state of calmness, peacefulness, and serenity? Why would I not choose that? But I didn't. Before we jump to this, I'm going to show you the chamber. So there I am on one side of it, and you can see the goddess. Hold on. I'll give you a better... Oh, it's amazing. This cave is amazing. Don't I have a better view of it? I sat on one side. Okay, so I'm sitting on one side of it, here, and through here, that is where they sit on the other side. And I said at the time to him, it feels like a confessional. And this is, I mean, this cave is insane. This is how big this cave is. That's me inside that cave. Now, if you go up close, that's the confessional right there. And there's the opening, and see how it's like a guillotine, and it's set up and it goes right through the vortex. And I've shown the different, I think I have that. I wonder if I can show you. I wish I could remember what they call this cave. But it's up. We sat up above the clouds in it. It's amazing. It's incredible. I haven't been there for a very long time. And you see here again the shape. I keep seeing that shape. There's a reason that this is coming up. This is where the elder would speak. You know, they would speak at the mouth of the cave. But there's actually even a place like a I did my reading there. I did a reading and I posted it. Archangel Power. We got the lovers. Here, my friend John is sitting. This is where you would see where they would sit, right? And up here is kind of like a where they would preach, or I mean, I realize that this is Native American, but this is what we saw when we were there. And along the wall, where somebody would, and they did. They led ceremony, right? I'm not saying that they were charging and they were judging. I'm saying I'm seeing all different kinds of things. And this is another place where we talked about this, how we felt like this is where the sentinel would sit at you know, guarding. And inside, you could see along the back wall, the fires were up above, and people would sit all along inside here. See, the seating was all here, and the fires would go up, and there was seating. It's amazing. It's like this was their ceremonial place. And this is the guillotine. And what's so interesting, so see, here is the opening where you would sit. One would be on one side, one would be on the other. This is the confessional. And this, if you look at it from the front, it literally looks like it would slice right through you. And when you look at it, it looks like the head of a ram or a buffalo. Do you see the eye and the head? And then there's another face here. There's so many elementals and there's so many ancestors in this cave. It's incredible. But they didn't do this for judgment. For me, this is a goddess. You could see the goddess's head. But it brought that to mind. And this looks like a tomahawk. And when we looked at it, this is really sharp on either, and it's positioned. We don't even know how it's sitting here, how it hasn't come loose and slipped. But when it does, if it slices down, it would slice right through you. It's incredibly sharp. And literally, we called it I named it the guillotine. So I'm thinking, I think about this, about judgment and how words can be sharp and they can slice. And maybe at this time, what I'm getting also is that we need to cut away what no longer serves us. It doesn't matter if it's, I'm looking at ancient ones, right? This is the ancient times, but it no longer serves. It's from past life. It's from times before. We take our lessons and we blend them with the things that we learn, and we continue to move forward. We don't stay stuck in the dogma of the past. We don't hold on to the old rituals and not expand and move forward. We're constantly getting new light, right? We're constantly being given new light. Here's the light. The color blue is the truth, and this is speaking your truth. All right, so this is all part of your message. Let me move this to the side here. Let two become one. Well, this is the green man and his bride. And we see the roses again, passion. And we see them, they're both of the forest. He's wearing the acorn mask. I know that goatee. The dragonfly is, see past the illusion. Hold on to your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. The red hair represents passion. He's protective of her, and she nuzzles into him. What did I say about the lovers? I did a reading in that cave, and that was the card that came up, was the lovers. I'm going to find this reading and I'm going to share it later. I wonder if it's in here. There's a reason that came up. It's all connected to this whole scenario. And for you, see, this is the card received. And this was a card that was given to me. Chiron asked for a card from me, and that was the card I was given, the lovers. So now here are the lovers, and it's asking you to share yourself with the one that you love. They want you to be best friends. Best friends. Each other's best friend. Standing in truth. Remember the song? My lover said, worship me in the bedroom. The only heaven I'll be seeing is that. Basically, I'm not going to go to hell. There is no hell. Hell is in our mind. Hell is the way people treat each other. We are living hell here. There is no hell. Don't be afraid of hell. That's what church teaches you, to scare you and hold you captive. There is no hell. Be one another's best friend. She's my lover. She's a giggle at the funeral. You know, she's got everyone's disapproval. She speaks her truth. Color blue. They stand by one another. They might be different. They are different than other people. But they're different, and they're standing in their truth and their integrity, and they're honorable in that way. Because why would you fake being something different? I was talking about a funeral yesterday. My little sister, at her funeral, I wore a flowered dress, a bright flowered dress. My whole family wore bright colors. None of us wanted to dress in black. We didn't want it to be horrible. And it wasn't my choice to have. They did that. They held it in behalf of my little sister. But when my mother died, we waited. We waited 3 weeks until I was more calm. And then we had a party. It was a celebration. We'd never had a funeral. There was no funeral. And other people may not look at that and agree with that. But that's how I felt my mother would be celebrated. I don't want to think about the sadness. I don't want to remember what she looked like as I held her dying. I'm not holding on to those memories. That keeps me stuck in a place of sadness. You stay in a place of memories of happiness. And so that's my choice. So these two, they have the same kind of belief system. They may do things a little bit differently, but they understand one another. They embrace one another. They embrace the uniqueness in one another. And you know what? Wow. You know, my lover, she laughs at funerals. She's got everybody disapproval, but I like her. I should have worshipped her sooner. She was the last true mouthpiece. She's speaking the truth. Like, we get to be who we are, right? We get to be who we are. We don't have to be what everybody else wants us to be. That gay person that was living that lifestyle, which is completely fine, is judging me for a choice that I'm making. How can you judge me if I'm not judging you? How can that be right? It isn't right. So these ones, Spirit wants you to share yourself with the one that you love. Be their best friend and let them be your best friend. You have each other's back. The trust that you have in each other should be unshakable. The loyalty between you should be, it should stand without saying. I know that you're loyal to me, and you are loyal to, and I am loyal to you. And the flaws that we each have make us who we are. We accept the flaws and what we can consider weakness in each other because we feel equal that way. I have them, you have them, right? We're not judging one another. We're on the same level. We can love one another despite our flaws. And a lot of times what we consider our flaws are what our lover or our partner considers our most wonderful things. This is about giving yourself completely, 100% trusting and knowing that you're not going to lose yourself in another. So many people fear commitment because they feel they're going to lose their freedom and they're, I have to think the way you think. No, you don't. But just don't try and make me think the way you think. We can agree to disagree. My grandmother taught me that since I was a little girl. Agree to disagree. And if somebody has a very staunch viewpoint on something and then you show them your side, I said to my grandma, well, what happens if you're wrong? And then she says, well, then I stand corrected. Right? You have to be willing to stand corrected. Instead of losing yourself in another, the two halves together, you become stronger as one, as a team. There's passion, there's healing, there's love, and there's growth, and there's stability. Everything here, and they're grounded. They are seeing past the illusion of each other. They don't have an illusion that this one is perfect or that one is perfect. There is no illusion. She's a hothead. He hides a lot. He keeps a lot inside. But she loves me and he loves me, and I understand. This one, she's got wings like a moth. I keep seeing a moth, like a moth to the flame. Direction. We're asking Spirit, which direction? Look for clues. Grace will lead us to the exact events and experiences we need at precisely at the right time. We may not understand why. I don't know why I'm smelling Burberry cologne. I don't know. Maybe I am supposed to change. I love that perfume. It smells amazing, but maybe it's time for a change. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be something else. All I know is I'm paying attention to it. Why did I have to show you guys that song and then the guillotine and it all comes together? There's reasons. I don't know why. A lot of times we don't know why. Why was this candle chosen? Everyone in my dream wanted the candle, the cologne that smelled like this. I didn't. I didn't want this. I wanted something more spicy. I wanted something richer. That's what I said. I said I wanted something, how did I say it? I said it smells fresh. It's not that I didn't like it. I did. It did smell good. They all liked it. They all poured it upon themselves. Samples, why don't you try them? So she goes and she says, thank you. Grabs the samples, a bunch of them. I hand them out to everyone. She comes back and I said, we have samples. Everyone smells it and oh, that smells really good. That's what everyone says. I smell it and I think it's okay. It isn't my favorite. There's another favorite that I have. It's at a different table. I already smelled that one. So I go over. Now my best friend, who used to be that's my ex actually, walks up and he's spraying that all over him, that regular, this one. And I said, it's okay, but I like this Burberry scent. It's more of a rich scent. It has like a caramel, candy smell to it. I don't know. So there's nothing wrong. What I'm getting is there's nothing wrong with this. There's everything right with this. We all want tranquility. We all want a state of calmness and peacefulness and serenity. This freshness. At times. But sometimes I want it a little bit spicy. I liked it richer. I wanted something richer. I wanted something with more depth, with more. That's exactly what I'm getting. That's exactly what I'm getting. My ex doesn't want to go deep. He doesn't want to go deep. He's very, happy to play. Just that's why we separated. That's the difference. I used to say you're about as deep as a plate. He would say to me, you're probably going to fall in love with somebody because of their mind. And it was an insult from him. And I said, I certainly hope so. To me, I wanted to go deeper. I look into things. To me, the depth that's the richness of things. He wants to keep it light. And that's okay. He said, well, my past life must have been a shit. So I'm here in this past life to just skate through life, coast, and I don't want to think. I don't want to go too deep. I don't want to know, not looking into things. Now, that was when we split. He's gone a lot deeper since then. But that's what this represents. It's light, it's airy, and the other one is richer and deeper. It doesn't mean that one is wrong. It means that it's different. And what works for you doesn't necessarily work for me. If you're happy living that life, and he's very happy. And I'm happy for him, and my best friend he's married to. But I wouldn't be happy living that life. I want something deeper. I want something richer. Right? So these are the clues. And it takes sometimes a little while before we figure out. And as I'm talking, I don't know what this means for you. You will know. Think global. You're being encouraged to spread your wings. Think outside the square. You're a citizen of the world. Expand your vision. Imagine the world within your heart. Embrace it. Surround it with love. Let it be, and so it will be. So we're encouraged to think bigger. Outside the box. We are limitless. We can have anything. We can do anything. We can be anything. We can go anywhere. We can manifest anything. There is much more out there than we have been taught. I was told that by somebody once. There's, religion teaches you the Bible, and that's it. But there's more. There are spirit beings that we have not encountered. There are planets that we have never seen. We will never go to in this lifetime, but we can astral travel there. I have. Things are much larger than we imagine. Things are much more expansive. There's much more room for understanding and for growth and there's so much more to experience. More than sometimes, people, they grow up in the same little town, born and raised and stayed in the same little town, and they're happy. They have no idea what's outside the world. There's so much more to experience. So open up your mind and allow your mind to expand. Don't be afraid of what's different and what you've been taught. Step outside of the box. That's what the Crane people do. They don't dance the drum to others' drums. They dance to a different beat. They think outside the box. They see opportunities that others don't even see. And when they see it, they know how to work that opportunity. They can make something out of nothing, out of something you wouldn't even recognize as a value. To them, it's a value. Don't be limited. Also, what I'm getting is don't limit spirit. We have a plan, right? This is what I imagine my life should be like, because this is all I've experienced up until now. It's all inside this box. But spirit knows way more than that. So don't limit spirit and say, this is all that I can have. If that relationship is over, if that job is over, that's it. No, it's not. If that relationship is over, if you were in a different country, you would be with a different person. Open your mind. Allow spirit to bring to you what you can't see yet. At 47 minutes and 16, actually it was 47:17, we're going to go to the laser light. Woo! Laser light. Yesterday we had laser light quartz, remember? And I felt, you know what? I need to hold on to, and I'm getting, can you guys hear it? Can you hear the high-pitched frequency? It's one of my wind chimes. It's a wind chime that doesn't normally move. It's not one that I normally hear. It's very, very high-pitched frequency. So a message in that right now is there's a very, very there's something coming to us that we may not understand. It's coming from a high-pitched frequency. It's probably downloads coming from sources that you may not even know. It could be coming from those spiritual places, those other spirit creatures. All I know is yesterday when I held on to this laser light quartz, I started feeling that energy, that expansion. I said it was like psychedelic, otherworldly. I'm not into eating mushrooms and going on a psychedelic trip to open up my mind. I don't need to do that. I don't need to alter my mind. Spirit says stay clean and sober so that you can hear our messages clearly. So many people have the wrong idea. They'll take peyote, they take ayahuasca, they eat mushrooms, they take LSD, acid. They're trying to expand their mind, open up their mind. But Spirit says stay clean and sober so you can hear our messages. I felt that energy coming from the crystals. That is a message that I'm being told to give. You don't have to take that message if you disagree. I know many spiritual people that do ayahuasca. Spirit told me not to take it. My mind is already open. My friend Tony said to me, Sherry, you're so open right now to the messages coming from Spirit. It might blow your mind open and you may not come back from that. That's what happens sometimes. People will do that. They will take LSD. They will take acid. They will, and remember I watched somebody with rituals and they were doing that. It wasn't that they were drug addicts. They were probably doing that because they were in a spiritual setting, trying to open up their mind. But when you are super sensitive already and your mind is so open, sometimes you'll go on a trip that you may not come back from, and it'll shatter your mind. You have to be very, very careful fucking around with stuff like that. You can get the same effect by going in and using the crystals of the earth. This came up for a reason. The laser light. Follow the red dot. Follow the red dot. Follow the red dot. Follow the red dot. Why can you not see that? Okay. Follow the red dot. If you do this with a cat, the cat will follow it. It's not really there, but they chase it. They're chasing something that isn't really there. That's what's happening when you're on drugs. You're chasing something that isn't really there. Spirit wants us clean. I kept getting the messages over and over yesterday. Clean and sober. I can see a cat's head in here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can see a cat's head right in the center of this. I'm sure that if you, and this is why these crystals are so amazing, that when you look into these crystals in your meditation and you connect with your higher self and spirit, you'll get messages this way from spirit and your higher self, not because your mind is altered by a drug. So many people, I told you, they will call themselves spiritual people. And the drugs, what it does is it lowers your defenses. It lowers your walls of protection, and other people can get into your energy. You have opened the door and you have allowed entities in. There are other energies. There are other energies that aren't necessarily happy, peaceful energies that want the best for you. I kept seeing the cloak in that cloaked one that doesn't want to come forward and show themselves. They're not showing themselves for what they truly are. Be very, very careful. These messages are coming forward at this time. Be very, very careful, please. Psychedelic drugs. You're thinking you're doing something spiritually, but you're not. You're opening your mind, and when your mind is open like that, you are not protected. You cannot protect your mind when it's open that way. That's why I was advised by Spirit not to go and do the ayahuasca ceremony. I would have to put my complete trust in that shaman, and there's all those other people that their minds are opening up and all of the stuff is being opened and things are coming out. There's no way I would ever take ayahuasca and do anything like that and open my mind up where I am not protected. I don't know that shaman. Your mind is it's huge. You want to open up to spirit, but you don't want to the light. But you're letting in more than the light when you do that. Make the sacrifice. This is a really intriguing message to me, and I'm seeing my own reflection in here. Okay, so I'm seeing my reflection in here. So this dragon that sits upon the hill, gosh, the dragon that sits upon the hill is holding on to a skull. What he holds in his hand is dead. There's a moon. It's a full moon, but it's dark. It's almost like an eclipse. So, and it's dark. So an eclipse is when scandals and truths come to the surface. This one is holding up a skeleton in his hand. Are you seeing how something happened? Are you seeing how somebody died? Are you connecting with ancestors? Are you holding on to something that is long dead and gone? This one is up in the mountain. When the great wave comes, go to the mountain. This one is dark, and he's up in the mountain. There's nobody else there. And he's holding on to something that is dead in his hand. Make the sacrifice. I have negative connotations when I first look at this, and then I can see the positive. The negative is they're asking you to make a sacrifice. I sacrifice myself at the shrine of your lies. Right? I tell you my truth, and you condemn me. Make your sacrifice. You are the sacrificial lamb. They showed me myself the other day. They showed me, in Canada, there's a little, a series called Sherry and the Lamb, Sherry, it wasn't spelled my way, and lambskin, Sherry Lambskin, hold on, show. It was a children's show, and she has a puppet, Sherry Lamb puppet. And I looked at it and I said, I'm a puppet. I'm a mouthpiece. Here it is. Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop. Why did I bring that up? There's a reason. this person speaks, right? It's the lamb that speaks, but it's her that's talking. So you are a mouthpiece. This is a mouthpiece for her, for Sherry. I am Sherry. The puppet is a mouthpiece. I remember growing up with this. I watched it all the time. Lamb chop. What did I say? It's mouthpiece. Sherry is the mouthpiece. Sherry is the mouthpiece. Well, I'm a mouthpiece for spirit, right? But I'm also seeing something else. Make the sacrifice, the sacrificial lamb. Someone else is the mouthpiece. They are the sacrificial lamb. Someone is sacrificing them. It's not them. Someone else is pulling the strings. It's like the story we got of the miller and his daughter, and he sacrificed his daughter. He said, my daughter can spin this into gold. And the king took her and said, if you can't do this, you'll die. It wasn't her that said it. Someone else was speaking on behalf of the sacrificial lamb. Sherry is speaking, and there's a lamb. There's a mouth. Gotta figure this out. There's a reason for this. This one's holding up this skull. I said I see my reflection. My reflection was used as a sacrificial lamb. I am speaking what this one needs to be. I'm speaking this one's words. That's what I'm getting. Okay, that's what I'm getting. I'm speaking the words of the story. It's coming from my mouth. The reflection of the sacrificial lamb. So, making the sacrifice. So this one is up in the mountains, and this puppet is speaking. He's speaking through me. I got it. Okay, I got it. It's just like spirit speaks through me. I'm a channel. So somebody is channeling through you. However, in the negative, there is somebody that has used you as a sacrificial lamb. Are you their mouthpiece? Are they not stepping forward and taking responsibility for what they are doing? Is somebody else speaking to you on behalf of another? You need to make the sacrifice. There's so many different messages. I'm trying to pull them all together. This is very unusual. You're not going to have the outcome that you want if you don't act. Someone else is your mouthpiece. You need to speak yourself. You need to come down out of that mountain and speak yourself. You need to stop using other people to channel through and use your own mouth. It's not as simple as wanting something to happen and expecting the spirit to line things up and poof, it happens. It doesn't work that way. Spirit will line things up for us, and then we are to act. We are to take the cues, act on them to bring the fruition of what's in front of us, because nothing is going to come to fruition without us acting. God helps those who help themselves. Don't stand there up on your mountain in the darkness and allow these secrets to come to light through somebody else. You need to speak. You need to make something happen, and you've got to be willing to do what it takes to make that sacrifice, no matter what it is. If you want this, what is the sacrifice that you need to make? Because there's something that you need to give of yourself. I'm not going to be your mouthpiece. You come down and you do it. Do not allow another to speak to you. Don't speak to me through another. Do not speak to me through my dreams. Do not speak to me through all of these stories. You speak to me yourself. Do not speak to... So you take responsibility for your own actions. Don't stand up in the darkness up there while your secrets are revealed. What sacrifice do you need to make in order to bring something about that you want? It's up to you to do it, no one else. Beauty. This white rose came up again and again. It came up in my dream yesterday. It came up in our reading yesterday. It came up again last night. Now I realize you're saying, well, that's kind of yellow, but the whole picture, it's like a black and white, right? It's kind of like the old-fashioned photography. But then we can go to yellow and we can see the yellow rose of friendship. But she is dressed in white. So see your own beauty. See the beauty within another. Appreciate beauty. The truth is beautiful. Innocence is beautiful. recognize that if you are innocent, that is beautiful. I got a song yesterday, and it said, I can't think of what the name of it is. It's a new song, and it's called Over My Head. Over My Head. And when I hear the song, it frustrates me, because I think to myself, shoot, like I said with my ex, he didn't go as deep as I go deeper than he did. He keeps it light, right? I never knew that everything was falling through, that everyone I knew was waiting on a cue to turn and run when all I needed was the truth. But that's how it's got to be. It's coming down to nothing more than apathy. Everyone, oh no, this is a different one, but it's interesting that this one came up. Everyone knows that I'm in over my head. Within seconds left in overtime, she's on your mind. So what is it that you have to sacrifice? But there's another song, In Over My Head. And what it's talking about is you speak, but everything you say is over my head. I'm not understanding, so keep it simple. So some people need things to be more simple. It can't be as deep as all of that. Appreciate the beauty in the simple things, in the simple understanding. Surround yourself with simple pleasures. Beauty is the language of the divine. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It doesn't have to be extravagant. Some things, the simple pleasures, like, well, if you were going to talk about my ex and I, right? He doesn't want to go deep. I like to go deep, but not all the time. He prefers to go out to clubs and dancing and to concerts, and he gets very involved in other people. I want to keep it very simple. So you see, he wants it simple in one way, I want it simple in another way. Everyone's entitled to the way they see things. But try to enjoy the beauty in the simple things. Like the way that blanket must feel. Have you ever gotten into bed? I have this blanket. Oh God, the feeling of it on my naked skin is it's incredible. It's such an amazing feeling. Or the feeling of I've got this one set of sheets, only one. I don't have very many. I only have like a couple sets of sheets, and this one was my mother's set, and it's the softest. When I feel it, it's like, oh my God, it feels so amazing. Or this, which is what I'm dying for right now. This. Cherries. It's my favorite fruit. What it tastes like, a bite of this cherry. You guys, it's amazing. These are simple things. We're supposed to enjoy our food. We're supposed to enjoy our blankets, our pillow. We're supposed to enjoy all the simple things. We're supposed to recognize the beauty in things that so many other people walk by and don't see. Why do you have that whole thing? Or why do you this, that, or the other? Because I see something beautiful in that. I could sit here for a very, very long time. I'm sorry that this isn't more in focus for some reason. And revel in the beauty of this. I could sit on my patio and blow bubbles and watch them float up into the sky for a really long time. When I was up in Santa Cruz and Boulder Creek, and when I went to the giant sequoias, there was a waterfall in the giant sequoias, and the water was all frothy, and it produced, there was, I don't know if somebody had gone in the waterfall with their sunscreen on. I think they might have. And there was this gasoline, I would call it gasoline, this kind of coloring in the water. And I took pictures of it. It was incredible. I stood there for hours. I literally did. I was there for a really long time. I was probably there, well, maybe an hour and a half, but looking at you can get lost in the very simple things, the very beautiful things. Enjoy them. There's a reason that they're there. And they speak to us. As I stood there looking in the waterfall, I saw all kinds of different shapes. As I see here, if I were to sit here for a long time and just turn this around and allow my higher self to connect with the animals that I see a little mouse right there. His ears and his little eyes and his face. There's a mouse. The mouse talks about the details, looking at the details of things. Don't overlook the details. Pay attention to the details. Sacred knowledge. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Feel the peace within. Sorry, this is out of focus. Beyond your thoughts lies your eternal truth. I am presence of eternal love. Sacred knowledge. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Feel the peace within. Beyond your thoughts lies your eternal truth. I am the I am of presence of eternal love. When you get out of your monkey mind, when you focus on your breath, if you're focusing on your breath, you're focusing on your breathing, you're clearing your mind, you bring yourself to a place of peace. The other day I said I was in that stressed out place, and I got the message. The person said, take a breath, and I found myself breathing in, and I realized I had been holding my breath, and it relaxes you. It's just like if you were having a baby, Lamaze. The Lamaze breathing is deep breathing. It calms you. It literally can take away pain. It can if you focus on it. If you focus on what's important. At 1 hour and 6 minutes in, we go to the last pile. Sorry, the lovers just popped in over there. The Cloisonne bracelet with the Indian nickel head. Indian head nickel. I don't know yet why that one was chosen. Basically, time. There is no time. You're worried about time. There is no time. There's no time, space, or reality. It's all continuous. That's probably why my watch broke again. Most of my clocks don't work. I don't want to be bound by time. I also am feeling going back in time. Go back in time. What is it that you've missed? Go back in time. Figure out what you've missed so that you can bring it forward into the future. Don't stay locked in the past. Don't stay stuck in the past. Take your lessons from the past and move forward. I just heard, isn't it time? You did that. 4 doves just flew by outside. Actually, I don't know if they were doves or pigeons. I'll have to see when they come back. I've been seeing a lot about horses lately. A lot about horses. Own your own power. Wow, my throat went right then. So somebody does not own their own power. The words are, know your own power. But I said, own your power. And I lost my voice. If you don't speak, you're not owning your power, and you don't know your power. When I see the horse, I think of freedom and forward movement and horsepower, right? You lift up the engine and underneath the hood, the horsepower. How many horsepower? What horsepower is that? I always, whenever I see the horse, I always think of, you don't need to do this alone. Spirit is coming to assist you. The horse, it's interesting. The horse represents freedom. And Spirit is basically saying we always have a choice. Which way do you get to choose. Do not be bound to some vow or some past life karmic soulmate contract. It's frozen in time. We are not frozen in time. We have a choice. What makes you happy? We can't stay stuck in the past. This is very beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful things that were put together to create this. What's interesting is this is old-fashioned, antique, this marcasite, this whole look. And this is modern. It's like putting the old with the new, the two patterns mixing together. Remember, I didn't like that in the one dream? Well, maybe it's time I learned to do that more often. And you know what I want to show you guys? You're going to laugh. See how I said that doesn't go with that? I didn't like that. The two patterns, the way were you mixing those two patterns? They don't go together. They go really well together. They look incredible together. They're gorgeous. And I was like, later that day, I came and I was cleaning off Lily's. This is where Lily sits. I put this pillow together. Look at the stripes going that way and the stripes going that way. And then this pattern. I put that together. I like that. But in my dream, I was saying, I don't like that. They don't go together. You don't put a dog collar with pearls. Well, maybe you do. And maybe what I'm looking at now is when I think about that dog collar and pearls on that girl, what I saw later, after I thought about that, was she can be very gentle, but she can be very tough. She can be very strong, and she's very resilient. She can be classy, and she can be funky. She knows how to mix it up. She can do all of it. She can go into a fancy ball and walk in there and hold her head up high, and she can go somewhere else and fit in there too. She can fit in anywhere she goes. Now, when we looked at it this time, it was a different message. But here, in our message today, own your own power. Walk your own walk. Go to your own drum. Dance your own dance. Wear your dog collar with pearls. I am that person. That's why I think this is funny that I said that. Isn't that weird? Because the message that was coming out at that time was that. But what I'm saying here, right, because this person was an aggressive person, a nasty, bossy person, and they were trying to pretend to be a lady when they were actually somebody that was very hurtful of others. That's what I was seeing in this at that time. But see, now this is talking about perception. You look at things and you see things in a different light for different reasons, right? So now I'm thinking about, there's a song about going to LA, and it's like, who's that girl rockin' kicks? Who's that girl rockin' kicks? Because this would be me. I think kicks are a type of tennis shoe. I watched that in my dream last night. How funny. Who's that chick that's rockin' kicks? Okay, party in the USA. And this is about not getting stuck in the past or staying the same as everyone else, or being afraid to mix it up. This is about knowing your own power. So this song, it's a party in the USA. Everybody's looking at me now like, who's that chick that's rockin' kicks? She must be from out of town, right? So everybody in this area was dressed a certain way, and this is LAX. I hopped off the plane in LAX with a dream in my cardigan. Welcome to the land of fame, excess. Whoa, am I gonna fit in? It's about not fitting in. I jumped in the cab. Here I am for the first time. Look to my right and I see the Hollywood sign. This is all so crazy. Everybody seems so famous. My tummy's turning and I feel I'm kind of homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the taxi man turned on the radio, and whatever song from that this person knew started to play. So I put up my hands. They're playing my song. The butterflies fly away. I'm nodding my head like, yeah. Moving my hips like, yeah. I got my hands up. They're playing my song. I know I'm going to be okay. It's a party in the USA. Get to the club in my taxi cab. Everyone's looking at me now. Who's that chick rockin' kicks? She's got to be from out of town. So hard with my girls not around me. Wherever you're from. My Sturgeon Bay friends not around me. It's definitely not a Nashville party, because all I see are stilettos. Wow, why am I crying right now? All I see are stilettos. I guess I never got the memo. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kind of homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the DJ dropped my favorite tune, and that song was on. Feel like hopping on a flight back to my hometown tonight. Something stops me every time the DJ song plays that song, and I feel all right. Feel like running. You feel like running because you don't fit in? Everyone makes you feel like an outcast, like you're different? Who's that chick rockin' kicks? She's got to be from out of town. She doesn't fit with the LA crowd, with the Hollywood crowd. I don't feel this way, but I'm feeling somebody's energy right now. And this is about knowing your own power. Don't go into the cocaine lifestyle because you're trying to fit in. They're trying to escape reality. You know reality. Wear your mixed colors. Be your mixed self. Go forward and know your own power. You have a choice, and your choice doesn't have to be what their choice is. You listen to what she said. Who's that chick rockin' kick? She's got to be from out of town. It's hard without my Sturgeon Bay friends around. It's definitely not a Nashville party. All I see are stilettos. I guess I never got the memo, meaning I didn't get clued in. Sorry, I guess I'm not, up on things like you are. I guess I'm not as tuned in as you are. That's what I'm getting this morning about keeping it simple. I didn't understand, it was over my head. Keep it more simple. You're going too deep. Don't look down your nose at somebody because they are different than you. My ex-husband was actually looking down at me. He made fun of me and said, you're going to fall in love with somebody because of their mind. And yet I was looking at him in the opposite way. But in a sense, we're both judging each other, right? I'm looking at him going, and I said to him, yeah, well, what did I say? I said something about he was acting very shallow. He was saying something very shallow, and it was hurtful to somebody. And I made a comment, and he says, yeah, well, you're probably going to, fall in love with somebody for their mind. And yet we both looked at each other. We didn't mix. It was oil and water. We didn't understand. Shouldn't have been any judgment. But remember I said yesterday, we always misunderstood each other. I didn't mean what he said, and he didn't, what he took, and he didn't understand what I said. And I didn't understand. We just didn't mix. But there should be no judgment. We all get a choice. We all get to have our life that we choose. And it's okay. And we can agree to disagree. And you don't have to fit in. And you don't have to feel like other people are looking down at you and be uncomfortable. Guess where I'm going? I'm going to be going to the lodge, and I may have to go by myself, which is going to be awkward, but I'm going to make myself do it. I'm saying it right now, and I got to tell you right now, this is the hardest thing in the world. I don't go to bars by myself. And it's the lodge. It's the Lighthouse Restaurant, but it is in a sense a bar. My friend Kenny Marquez is a musician, and he's going to be playing there. I said to my landlord, he's always asking me to go up there, and I never want to go. And I said, I'll go to this, but he's got to go to the doctor tomorrow and to see the skin doctor, and he may have to get some skin cancer burned off. He goes, if I do, I can't go, which means I have to go alone. And I'll find this very interesting because I bet that's what Spirit's going to make me do. And then I go in there, and I'm not like the people that are there. I'm very different than the people around here. I don't generally mix. But Kenny's a friend from a long time ago, and I miss the music, and I'm not in Sturgeon Bay with my friends that I'm comfortable with, so I'm going to go into a crowd where I don't fit. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to hold my head up. And I'm going to know I don't have to be like everyone else. I can just go and enjoy the music and observe. So know that you have a choice, and you can do whatever it is that you choose to do. You don't have to fit in. Don't judge another for being different than you, and don't allow them to judge you. Accept responsibility for your own experiences, for the things that you do, for anything that you have done. If you have allowed to impose your opinion or your feelings or your choices upon another person, own your responsibility, like I just did just now. I saw that in myself. I see these lessons for myself. And we have a choice. We can either have somebody ride on our back and control us, be the horse that they ride upon our back. I watched yesterday, the sea puppy. There was a dragon, and he how do I say this? My friend, he's painting a picture on his surfboard, and there's a giant dragon, and I said, the sea puppy is a dragon, but on the dragon's back was a devil. And I know it always goes back to Trump, but they always show me Trump as the devil, and this person in this person's life, this person that controls the company is this person, and they're riding on their back. So you have a choice. You can either allow someone to ride on your back, or you can be the one that rides free. Allow them to put a bridle on you, and you can be their puppet, right? Are you going to be their puppet, or are you going to speak your own truth? Maybe that's the message we got in the one sitting up there. You're someone else's puppet. You're speaking things that comes from their mouth. I'm not. I'll speak Spirit's truth, but I don't want a bridle put on me by anyone else. So do you want to have a saddle where they can ride on you and put a bridle on you and tell you where you can go and how you can go and what you can wear and how you can speak? And you're going to be their mouthpiece, and they can speak through your mouth. Remember, you open up your mouth and your mother comes out. Ever done that? Got to rein that in. Own your power, know it, and recognize that your choices and your actions, it's all your responsibility. It's your life. This is your life. You came down here to live your life, you didn't come down here to live someone else's life. Trust. She's holding on to that shell, that conch shell. It looks like this shell. She's holding on to this shell. It's interesting. It's even the similar colors. Spirit's asking for trust. Trust yourself first. Trust Spirit. Trust that you're safe. The more we follow our intuition, the more we'll find the right doors open assist us in fulfilling our life's purpose. We need to trust what we get. We have to follow why. Why was I encouraged to look up that song? Why was I encouraged to look at the pictures from that trip to Sedona? Why was I'm hearing what my higher self is saying and I'm going with it. Trust your intuition. It'll lead you in places that you don't know why you're going there, and sometimes you don't know until later. And sometimes you get course corrected by your own self, like I just did, right? And that's why it happens. I think that's really cool. Trust what you're getting. And as we do that, we ascend higher, because now we're reevaluating things. I made this choice because this is how I felt. But now this has been shown to me and I see it differently, and I get to change my mind. And as we do that, we keep moving forward. No, we're not being wishy-washy. No, we're not being, what's the word? I can't think of the word. We have the right to change our mind. Well, you said you loved me. You said that we were going to be together. Well, I've continued to grow and you've stayed there. We've grown in different directions. I'm not going to stay where I don't feel free to express who I really am. If we disagree, we can grow together. We can grow, have differences of opinions and each grow, but I can't be held back. I want to keep reaching. That was the thing. That was the thing that my ex-husband and I both agreed. I wanted to move forward on my spiritual path. He didn't. That was the dividing line. So we get to change our minds. We get to undo soul contracts. And sometimes, you know what? Sometimes we have made a vow, and that's why it's very important that we take vows very seriously. But sometimes we have made a promise. We've married someone. It's a big deal. I don't take marriage lightly. You may think I do because I've been married more than once. If you knew my story, you'd understand why I have been. But I don't. It's a very big deal to me. Loyalty is very important to me. I stand by my word, but I can't stay somewhere that I don't agree. I can't do something that I don't believe in. So we have to trust our intuition and understand that it's showing us things at the right time, and that we will be constantly changing, and we have to continually move forward. And if that means that we make different choices, then so be it. We trust our intuition. We're being led, and as we're being led, and as we listen to what we get, the doors open that are meant to open for us at this time. There are soul contracts that we fulfill, and then once that soul contract is finished, we move forward. So you may be in a relationship with someone, and you may have had to take that path and go through that, but then that soul contract is done, and you move forward through the doors that are open. And Spirit says to us, surrender. There's no point in pushing the barrow up such a steep hill. Go back to the start. Remember? Go back. Go back to the start. Surrender your expectations. There's an easier way. When the time is right, a new path will appear. Isn't it amazing how these all line up? Stop pushing something that doesn't want to work. Like I always say, stop pushing wet spaghetti up a hill. It doesn't want to go. It's not going to go. Go back to the start. What do I have to re-examine? What do I have to look at? What am I missing? What can I put together? The lessons. What have I not seen that I now need to see? And then I formulated a different plan of action. It's an easier plan of action. It should never be hard. It should be easy. And when the time is right, that path will appear. Wow, you guys. Amazing. All right, at 1 hour and 23 minutes in, we're done. I love you guys.